Hello. Good morning, everyone. Welcome to another Wealth Coffee Chat. Good to see you this morning. Was having some technical difficulties, so hopefully everything is flowing out there. Let me know. I can see a few of you on already, so that is good. Hey, good morning, Kevin. How are you, mate? Aaron's in the house as well. G'day, buddy. Chris, good to see you. Got a Facebook user behind the veil in one of the Facebook groups. Welcome along. Good to see you, folks. Thanks for joining me this morning for the 8:10 show. Didn't get a chance to connect with you guys yesterday. Had a meeting that I couldn't avoid at, I had someone from the States, your neck of the woods, Kevin, and only could lock it in the morning. But with you today, normally 8:10. For those who don't already know, quick intros. Jason Witten's my name. If you didn't already know, most of you do, though. But if you're new, if you're dropping by, you're saying hello, then let us know in the chat. Give us a shout out where you're coming in from. We've got a few out and about. Andrew's there as well. Morning, Andrew. Got Tim here. Kerry dropping by. Good to see you, Kerry. And there you go. Love the daylight savings. I don't know. Depends on which part of the day you're in with the daylight savings. Anyway, good to see you, folks. Today, I thought we'd have a quick one. Hey, the forecasts are in. If you didn't already know, it's been a bit quiet lately, hasn't it? Anyone tell me in the chat. It hasn't been that noisy when it comes to the world of real estate and property, right? Property investing, property in general. You know, there's a few things out there. You know, the loonies in Victoria are trying to pillage the coffers when it comes to property. They've got like most of these politicians have just got a one-trick pony that annoys the crap out of me anyway. But, you know, let's check in on the facts of that. It's not the end of the world stuff. A lot of people saying it is, but it's not. Don't get too dramatic. Do the math. But listen, what is happening is there's murmurs, there's conversations, there's a bit of noise because it was 2 days ago. I tell you what, the year's getting away on me. Anyway, focus, Jason. 2 days ago, the RBA, for the fourth time in a row, left the interest rates at, the cash rate at the number it's at right now. And there is rhetoric and market consensus and conversation about those interest rates most likely being reduced, dropped, put down over 2024 and into early 25 by about 1%, folks, about 1%. So both you and I know that when interest rates go down, or even right now, even interest rate pausing, along with a few other forces in the market, there's some things that are worth paying attention to. And one of them for the moment is capital growth, right? There's some forecasts of capital growth out and about from a few, let's go to this one actually. A few commentators, and one of them I think I shared the other day, but I'll share again because it's part of this conversation today. You know, forecast of growth, 9.4%, folks, across the country. If you have a look, there's some forecasts of some interesting growth, over the next little bit, sort of, from December 23 to June 24, some positive growth. And again, in those sections. Across the apartment space, some positive growth in the general marketplace. Be interesting to see this one. I think that's that one, depending on where you are. I'm just settling one of my properties that I bought off the plan in Brisbane. A really nice two-bedder. It's up $200,000 from my purchase price, and I haven't even settled it yet. So, at the end of the day, it's interesting when it comes to these ideas, these, general median and average pricing. But the point is this, folks, there is some positivity out there in the marketplace for momentum. And my question today, interesting, Chris. I think they like to sort of grandstand, but media like to get in there and give it a little, get some attention for clickbaiting, don't they? Eh? There you go. And morning, Paul, just down the road, Talabudra. So, my question to you, my conversation today is like, are we, do we have to wait, for the end of 24 and 25 to see this growth, folks? Are we waiting? Yeah, that's right, Jace. You're dead right. What are the indicators? What are future indicators? And that was part of my conversation today is what things can we use to look into the future? And one of them, Jason here has already nailed, which is, look into the future and say, hey, when lenders reduce their fixed rates, they believe that interest rates are likely to reduce, and they're trying to lock in some of their profits with attractive fixed rates right now. So, for some that might work, and for some it won't. But for us as property investors now and looking at where we are, how do we look into the future? What's going on? And I thought we'd touch base a little bit about how I look at the market. Sam and the team look at the market, and there's a way to look into the future, and there's a way to look into the past. And, understanding the combination of those two might give us some insight, some confidence, the bits and pieces, et cetera, et cetera. So let's have a look at that today and see where we land, right? So who thinks that we've got growth into the future? Many people do. And it's going to be accelerated by the cost of money going down. But right now, if you didn't already know, the market is moving already. We're talking about already today, already prior to December 2023, market is moving. And where's the signs of that? That's what we're going to talk about a little bit today. And have a bit of a conversation, because there's forecasts into the future, but these forecasts, are we waiting around? Are we going to see them later, or is it already here? And folks, I'm here to tell you it's already under our nose. When we look at data, and especially sales data, folks, tell me in the chat, sales data, when it shows up, it's fast. It's a bit faster these days, but really at the end of the day, we don't see sort of trends for a certain amount of time. How long? What's the history? How far back are we looking when it comes to data, sales data showing up in the market, showing us momentum or trends? And Tim's saying, yep, usually a few months. The gap is, yep, exactly, 3 to 6 months maximum, right? 3 to 6 months maximum. We're getting data showing up today that was from 3 to 6 months ago, right? Now, depending on how it gets processed and blah, blah, blah. So when we sort of today, especially when a market moves a little bit faster and there's a bit of momentum in the market, we won't really see a gap or an opportunity or momentum. Now, how do we look into the future? How do we look 3, 6, 12 months into the future? Well, there's a few ways, all right? So one of the things that we can see, and Dr. Andrew Wilson, we've got him coming to our mentoring program next fortnight, so you guys got to get along to this, is people paying more for properties in the marketplace, all right? So what is a favorite way that, often Sydneyites and Melbourneites, especially Melbourneites, but Sydneyites and Melbourneites love to sell their properties, folks? Chuck that in the chat for me. Chuck it in the chat. What is one of the favorite ways that the Melbourneites and the Sydneyites, I don't even know if that's the right way to say it, love to sell their properties? Put that in the chat and let me know. Because, auctions, right? Auctions. Spell that right, Jason. Auctions, right? Auctions. So And those auctions are often are an indicator of clearance rates and prices that people pay. Here's a little bit of a snapshot from the weekend just gone. Investors, people are paying, 130K more for a property than the last bid, or what someone else is prepared to pay for it. Now, that's going to show up in the future. That's going to show up 3 to 6 months in the future. Prices are going up. Now, what else do we see in the future? Well, the cost of constructing a new property, depending on where you are, has increased anywhere from 20 to 30%, right? So if a property was, started, let's say in 2020 or 2021, like often this happens with apartments and townhouses. Houses tend to be built a little bit quicker, but of late, houses have been as slow to build. Like one of my apartments got built faster than one of my houses. One house, and then there was 50 apartments built faster than one of my houses. Crazy. Anyway, but the point is, if you had a property being built in 2021 and it's landing now in 2023, right? Against the today market value, today's value to construct it and sell it, and this is, I've got 2 properties right now landing exactly like that. I bought them in 21. They're landing now in 23, and I'm up 30%. 30% in value because of this stuff, the construction cost, the replacement cost, the location, all of those things. So in the future, already any new supply, from 2023 right now is priced 30% more than anything that came from, 21 and 22, folks. All right. So we're already up. People are paying more for secondhand properties because there's not a lot around. And what else can we see? How else can we look into the future as we go? Well, let's have a look at this. Let's have a look at where else do we go to look into the future. Does anybody know? I've given this one away before, but does anyone know where else would you go to look into the future and see what's happening? And there's a great website that I use to have a bit of a look. Chuck that in the chat if you think you know what it is, because it's actually a website called SQM Research, right? And let's have a look at this. The weekly asking price for properties. Now, crystal ball, Chris. Now, check this out. This data is the fastest data that you can gather, okay? And weekly asking prices, not sale prices, folks. Weekly asking prices. Now, has it sold yet? No, but considering, let's go back in August 22, we'd had a high. This is the national average, folks, by the way. So we'd climbed from sort of down here in July 20 all the way to a crazy, awesome, amazing high in July 22, and then the interest rates started to go up, right? So as you would think, that had a small effect. Things got stopped momentum for a little while. And depending on, what you're looking at, even with apartments, you go down to July 20 down here, I don't know, July 20 there. And, still, there we go, somewhere around there. Still a nice rise in the average price. And that's the whole country, by the way, folks. Don't this is certainly just for demonstration purposes, right? But if you have a look at the flatness of kind of when, things kicked in with high interest rates, but have a look at this, team, all right? The interest rates pause, and what happens? Things kick off again, all right? The asking price, which is the future. How far into the future is the asking price going to show up, folks? Put it in the chat for me. Put it in the chat. So we've got 2 future indicators. 2 future indicators of prices of properties. The weekly asking price, okay? how far into the future is that going to land and then turn up as movement in the market, all right? And the construction cost of a new property. Okay, so there's two ways to look into the future in this sense. Okay, if the asking price today, you got property, the asking price is like, X dollars, then what's going to happen? Right? We go, okay, well, if the asking price is $1 million, but today's valuation or today's data from 3 months ago is 900. Let's just use that as an example. Today's asking price is $1 million. Someone pays $1 million, let's say today. It takes a month for that negotiation. Then it takes another month for it to settle. So that's 2 months already. Then it takes 3 months for it to show up in the RP data database. Folks, 6 months into the future, the data shows that the price has gone up 100 grand. But when did it happen? It happened 5 months ago. And how can you see that? Well, you can look at the weekly asking price momentum. Now, if you want to jump on this website, sqmresearch.com.au, there's some great data in here. Go poke around. Let's go poke around in Brisbane and you can see, all right, what's happening in Brisbane? Brisbane's off and running again. You beauty, whatever, right? So the asking price is the future, folks. The asking price is the future. Can you do that with rent? Yes, you can do that with rent, right? Check out this, rent went a bit flat and then kicking off again. Okay. So what's the point? What's the takeaway of all of this stuff? Well, let's have a talk about that as we finish up today, because I've got a meeting straight after this. What's the point? The point is, folks, the market is already moving. The future is already being set. Properties are costing more to build, and the asking prices are already up another 10% today than they were 6 months ago. That's going to show up in 6 months' time. That's where people are making predictions. 10% up. It doesn't take Einstein to work out that if you get the data and you understand what momentum is and you buy a good property, don't buy rubbish properties, by the way. Rubbish properties, irrelevant of market, are always rubbish. Then you're going to get uplift, folks. Anyway, there you go. Well, it's coffee chat done and dusted. I've got to run today, so I won't rabbit on like I normally do. Good to see you, folks. Join me tomorrow for another Wealth Coffee Chat. Hopefully, you're getting the hang of this damn daylight saving stuff. Anyway, all right, folks, that's it from me. You guys be good. Take care. See you tomorrow. Bye for now.